Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Marietta here, coming to you with another video. Today I would like to talk to you about the budget, about the average family budget, the average household budget, the way it looks as far as the income that are going in most of Americans' homes, and the crisis that's out here with the prices of everything rising and the housing market and everything going up. Right now, when I think about the crisis of the budget market, of making a budget for the household, there is a crisis in this area due to the fact that there is not enough income from the door to even start to get ready to make a budget, from what a lot of people are saying. Now, when I think about that, I think about there's always room to make a budget. There's always room to make a budget because, truth be told, a lot of homes have been living above their means in certain areas anyway, and there should always be room for a cutback. There should always be, even if there was no tariffs, even if there was nothing going on in America today, we still got to live our life in a way that there's got to be something. I don't care if it's $5, $3, $2, or something you can put in the jar for a rainy day. Call it the rainy day fund. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how it is to save even some of them pennies that you throw on the ground that you walk past when you're walking on the ground. Now it's time to pick them up because those pennies are very important. You know, they're talking about getting rid of the penny. You might pick up that penny that might be valuable, that you might be able to resell that penny and get a good profit off of that penny. So, with that being said, there should be always a budget plan in every household. Every household should have a budget plan. You should know exactly how much money you have to put on certain bills, how much money you have to buy clothing, how much money you have to buy household products, household necessities, and so on and so on. Now, I understand that the price of all these things have gone up. They've all gone up. And when we used to buy them, we used to buy them in bulk. We'd go to Sam's Club, we go to Costco's and different places, and we buy these things in bulk. And even then, you're buying them in bulk now, the bulk price is even going up past what you used to pay for it at that time. We understand that. These prices are showing up, and they're apparent in every grocery store, every market you go into. The prices have been raised. I even noticed that even down here in South Carolina, there's been a closure of some of our stores, such as Piggly Wiggly, but when you go in the other stores, such as Publix and Walmart and Marshalls and all these other stores, Food Line, no matter what store you go into, you will feel the price crunch at the register. You will feel the heat at the register when you go to pay for the items and you look at the price, or when they ring it up and they tell you how much it is, and you start to lose your breath because you wasn't expecting that for what little bit you had in that cart. Well, this is not just happening to you, it's happening to lots of people. This is why you got to start with the budget plan, and you got to really start thinking about the items that you are purchasing. And even with that, you got to think of ways to make some of these things yourself, such as bread. You're going to have to get your Google out, and you're going to have to start Googling up some recipes and learn how to make some stuff. I know it's old fashioned, I know it's old school, and I know it's what we were taught to do, but it's a lot healthier. And you will realize that some of these sicknesses that we carry would be out of here if we begin to cook in a way that we know what's being put in our food, and we know how long the food has been made. We know that it's not filled with processed stuff. Now it's to the point where I don't care if you go buy hot dogs, they're expensive. Processed foods are very expensive even now. Before you said you couldn't afford to buy the good stuff. Well, now you can't even afford to buy the bad stuff. So you really have to budget yourself, and you really have to think about the things that you are buying, the core things that your family need to make it. These are things that need to be in the budget when you talk about spending. Yes, it looks like we're being priced out of our homes. Yes, it looks like we're being priced even out of the country. Yes, we look like we're being priced even out of having a job or whatever, because of the fact that there's no extra income in any house. A lot of people are saying they're living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people were living paycheck to paycheck even before any of this happened. They were living paycheck to paycheck, and they need to set up a budget plan then. And so therefore, because of the costly, reckless way of spending, is really the reason why there's a lot of pain in the homes right now about the spending that's going on right now. Really, truly, if you got a husband and wife team together, you got two paychecks there together, they should be working together. They should know how to manage and be able to budget. I know it's hard. I know, because trust me, I just got my little bit of money, and I'm seeming at being able to make it work. No, I don't get to go out. No, my nails are not done. No, I don't go buy new wigs from week to week. No, I don't walk around with Coach and Louis Vuitton and Dooney and Burke and all of them bags and all of them. I do have some designer bags, but I have designer bag dupes that I bought a long time ago. But yet and still, what I'm trying to say is I'm not a flashy person to the point where I spend a lot of money to dress up. I spend a lot of money just to have name brand things hanging in my closet. I don't do all of that. And I buy where it's affordable, where I like to look good, yes, but yet and still, I buy on a budget. And when I buy, I don't buy things that I have to keep rebuying over and over and over and over again. I decided I was getting no more nails done. My nails would have to be done. I would have to keep them short, and I would just have to put some clear polish on them when I want to go out. Other than that, that's just the way they're going to have to be. And that's the way it is. I decided that's going to be my cut. I do my pedicures myself. That's a price cut. Y'all know that's money that's coming back into your house. Try it. Take that same money that you would do every 2 weeks to get your nails done and put it in a jar. Watch how quickly that adds up. Take that money you used to get your feet done with, do them yourself, and put the money in a jar. Watch how quickly that adds up. You'll be able to realize that there are some things that you can cut back on, that you can save on, that you can actually begin to run your house a different way. Be careful, mindful of cutting your lights off in the daytime. Make sure that your lights, you don't have lights on in every house. Every house in America has TVs in every room now. That was I don't know when that started, but we all did it. We all do it. I got it done here. Every room got just about a TV. But yet and still, you turn them TVs off. If nobody's in that room, you turn that light off. Try to run the air as much as you possibly can so you can stay safe and so you can breathe. But on days that you don't really need the air, open up the windows. That's what we gotten away from. We gotten away from allowing that fresh air to come in and blow through the house. You got to be able to start working in a way that is beneficial for you. Wash your clothes at night. Run your water at night if you're paying a water bill. These things are cheaper when you do it late night. Wash your clothes. Wash your dry your clothes so that you don't have to be trying to dry clothes in the heat of the day, or not go back to the old-fashioned way and get yourself a clothesline and put it out there in the yard and hang your clothes out there. Whatever you got to do to cut the budget on your end. Only you know what your spending looks like. We're talking about the budget cuts. We're talking about the budget cuts. If the government is cutting some things, and you got to cut some things. You got to cut some things in order to keep up with this rising cost of inflation. You got to cut some things. After so your paycheck is the same, you got to sit down and do a budget for that paycheck, and you got to figure out what it is that you can do to save somewhere. It doesn't matter if you had money for movies twice a month. Okay, now you got to put that money in the jar. If you had money to eat out 5 times once a week, now you got to eat out maybe twice a month. Put that money in the jar. You got to look at where you are spending. What are you doing that's causing you? If you're used to one of them kind of just riding around, you're wasting gas. Park that car until you actually have to go somewhere, until you have something important to do. Whether be it you going to work or being you going to a doctor's appointment, and park that car. If you got to figure out how it is that you can make meals, like bulk meals on a budget, like pots of spaghetti, maybe pots of beef stew, or maybe pots of lasagna or stuff. Lasagna is expensive, but yet and still, it depends on how many people you feed as you cut that pot up. And as you begin to fry that chicken, bake that chicken, put them chicken in them recipes and that ground turkey in different recipes, and cook bulk at the time. If you got 3 and 4 and 5 people at a time, that way the meal's already prepared, it's already cooked. It was not a hardship on you because it's already done. You got to realize exactly what is causing your budget to be over your budget in this hour, in this time, in this season. We're talking about the budget in your home. In your home, what can you do inside your home? You go to work, you work 5-6 days a week. You get your paycheck. Once you get your paycheck, it's gone just like that because you're spending it the same way when things have changed. Now you got to stop that paycheck. Stop that paycheck at the door. Put that paycheck on the table. Get your paper and your pencil and sit down at that table and begin to evaluate where your spending is. How much money you could put here, how much money you could put there, and see exactly how much you can save. I bet you an amount of money you will be able to save something if you know where your money's going. If you feel as though that you're living payday to payday, there's no savings, but yet everything is going to continue to keep going up, then you're getting priced out of your life. You're getting priced out of your lifestyle. You're getting priced out of your home. You're going to get priced out of your job. You're going to get priced out of everything because you feel like what it is you're making is not enough. Now, this is not just a monthly seasonal change. that the state is making. They're making a lifestyle change. This is a lifestyle change. From what I'm understanding, these things that are going into place are things that are going to be in place for the long haul. For the long haul. I know a lot of preppers out there are prepping, and they're putting up food and this, that, and the other, so that when they're looking at that market to crash, they're expecting the stores to be empty, which I pray that does not happen, because I look at America still like we're the land of milk and honey, we're the land of plenty, but yet and still the prices are going to go up. But can we afford it? Can you afford to live in the U.S. with the rising cost of prices the way they are? Or are you going to be able to afford to even live here? Are you going to feel like you've been forced out because of the fact that you can't afford it? Or are you feel as though that because you can't afford it and the high prices of everything is going to cause you to be out on the street? Type it down in the comments what y'all think you could add to this conversation to help people understand how they can keep a roof over their head and eat at the same time. Keep a roof over their head and still buy the clothing that they need. Keep a roof over their head, because if the truth be told, a lot of us got closets, and we got closets filled with clothes, but yet and still we'll always say we ain't got nothing to wear, because we have been a spoiled nation. We have been a spoiled nation. And I thank God for that. I thank God for all the blessings that He has bestowed upon us. But we got to understand that when it comes down to us having to do without a little bit, or we have to share a little bit, or we have to give away some things to help somebody else, we got to be in position to do that also. Because I know you can go in your closet, because I deliberately went in my closet and I actually emptied out a lot of things and took them and gave them to the street and cleaned my closet out. And I'm just now filling it back up again. And I'm about to do the same thing, clean it out again. And you got to realize, I'm sure a lot of us got things in our closet that we have not worn, or clean things that we bought, we thought we were going to wear and we did not wear. Those things you can also start yourself an online yard sale. Start yourself an online eBay account. Start yourself an Etsy account. Start putting those clothes on Hodgepodge. There's a lot of things you could do that you can get rid of stuff that you're not using to actually put extra money into your house. But only you know what you have that you can do without, that you can liquidate, that you can start a savings. And I know a lot of people saying, how are you going to save when there's not enough money coming in? You don't know how much you can save until your back is up against the wall and you really have to take care of what you have to take care of. And you'll see that you have a lot of things around you that you're not using, that you can sell, and you can use those things to create an income, to pay a bill, pay an electric bill, pay a water bill, pay trash bill, cable bill. You can actually do that with some of the things that you have collected while the eating was good, while you were spending before all this came about. Because right now it looks like there's going to be no extra money coming no time soon. I know a lot of people thought that there was going to be some stimulus checks coming out. Evidently you see that there's none of that. So right now you're on your own. You have to figure out the budget for yourself. Budget cuts are being cut all across the board, and you're going to have to cut some as well in your household in order for your household to stand. In order for your household to stand, you're going to have to get rid of some of the habits that you've had, that the expensive spending, the spending unnecessary, the frivolous spending, the spending on things that are not needed, but just make sure you're taking care of the bare necessities of the things that you do need. And a lot of times it's the sacrifices that have to be made until you can adjust to how your house changes with the changing times and the high rise and the high cost of living, the way living is today. There are some things that have to be done. You're going to have to figure out a way to try to create different avenues for you to get income in your house. Because see, a lot of y'all out there say you're hustling, but you're hustling backwards. If you're out there working 24/7, you're working from sun up to sundown, and you still ain't got enough money to pay your bills, and you still ain't got enough money to keep a roof over your head, you hustling backwards. Something in there needs to be evaluated, because that's a lot of hours to be out there in them streets and still not coming home with enough money on Friday to do nothing with. And if that's the case, then that means you're working for somebody else, and you need to start working for yourself, because evidently you got the stamina to stay up. You got the drive and the willpower, but just because you're working for somebody else, there's a middleman in the way that's eating up your profits. So you're going to have to figure out how to create an income for yourself. I don't care if it's DoorDash or you're going to have to DoorDash, you're going to have to Uber Eats, you're going to have to do something that you can do for yourself. Start cutting grass, start doing home improvements, something. So that you can create an income to bring the money back to you. Because anytime you're working for somebody else, that means you're working for a lot less than what you're worth. You're going to always work for a lot less than what you're worth when you're working for somebody else, especially when you're working on a job that does not pay nothing from the beginning. So you're going to have to look at the budget that's coming on in your house. It's time to check the budget. It's time to check the budget. It's time to check the budget. See what you're working with. Be honest with yourself about how much money is coming into your household. Because see, you'll only be stealing from yourself when you don't count this money over here, because I need this money over here to go to the liquor store to buy cigarettes. I need this money over here to go and get this hair done every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. I gotta look good no matter, even if I'm broke. I gotta stunt for the public. I gotta go and I gotta get the most expensive car off the lot because I got to let them know what I'm working with. I gotta make sure that I'm fashionably dress the kid when I walk out the door, because I want everybody to know that I got it going on, but I'm suffering once I get back in the house. Once I get back to the house, I ain't got no furniture. Once I get back in the house, I ain't got nothing to eat. Once I get back in the house, I'm stressed out with the bills. Once I get back in the house, I'm cussing my husband out. Me and him are fighting like cats and dogs because there's not enough money. But I got an outfit. Oh, I got an outfit. I can put an outfit together. I can put my two pieces together and I can put on my face. Or I can put on my face and I can front for the public. I can go outdoors and I can make people think that I got it going on, but I'm hurting. There's no more suffering in silence. There's no more suffering in silence. If there's not enough, just say it's not enough. Just say it's not enough. And begin to figure out how you can make it enough. Begin to figure out where you can kick in. Where you're not going to tear my family down, devil. You're not going to destroy my husband. You're not going to destroy my wife. You can't have my kids. No, devil. You're not going to stop us from eating. You're not going to deplete my house. No. My God is a provider, and he has provided. And he's trusting you with some things. He's trusting you to be able to put that money to work. He's trusting you to be able to move things around in that household, move things around in that family. He's trusting you to be able to be a good steward of God's money and to be able to rearrange that money so that it will meet the budget. I'm just a firm believer that I don't care what we're going through or how we're going through it. If you put God at the forefront of that thing, it's going to work. It's going to work. He said he will provide. He will provide, but will you protect the provision that he has given you? Will you protect it? Will you protect it? Y'all that know me, y'all know I get stirred up. I get stirred up when I start talking about the Spirit of the Lord. Why? Because God is good. And he said he would not leave us nor forsake us. So while you're creating your budget, you're giving your angels something to do. You're giving your angels charge over you. You're putting your angels in perspective so that they will be able to watch over your household. The budget. We're talking about the budget. You do not have no lack in your house. There will be no lack in your house. Hallelujah. Praise God. You serve a God of more than enough. And you got to know that it's more than enough. I really believe that if we actually sit down and we do a budget and we really think about, are we going to give up? Are we going to give up? Because if you don't do the budget, if you don't plan to win, then you plan to fail. So you got to sit down and you got to talk about these things with whoever's in the house. Or if you by yourself, then you got to move your money around and figure out exactly what it is that you can pay. And that big house you pay for that you ain't never in because you always at work or you always out in the street. And people ask me now, where are you? I'm home. I'm home. You know why I'm home? Not because I can't afford to go out. It's because of the fact that I want to stay in my house. I didn't pay all this money for this place to be out in the street. I didn't pay all this money not to be comfortable sitting in it. I paid this money because I enjoy sitting in it. I paid this money because I wanted to make sure that I was covered. And I'm working within my budget. I'm working within my budget. I'm holding some things. I'm trusting God for some things. So I'm trying to hold my money so I can work towards the things that I'm trusting God for. That's when you're planning a good budget. That's when you're putting your budget into action. I prayed over my budget. I prayed over my finances. Have you prayed over your finances? Have you talked to God about your finances? Have you allowed God to be able to work in your finances by inviting him in the middle of that storm? You have to be in a place where you just give that all things, just pray about it. Give it to God. Talk to God about it. Talk to him about your finances. The word said you have not because you ask not. There are some things that you may not have that you have not gotten because you have not asked for them. So just be mindful about how you're spending your money. We're talking about the budget. Make sure that you're budgeting yourself in a way that your house is comfortable and it has what it needs, because there's a lot of things that you can, even though you may not think so. I'm sure that we can walk through everybody's house. I know I possibly could walk through your house if you're working and you got a full-time job and you're out there hustling, you're doing gig work or whatever. I'm sure that there's places in your life where you can cut back and you can save. So you think about that and talk about the budget with the people in your family. I love you. To God be the glory. I just wanted to lay that on your heart to make sure that you're budgeting your money in a way that it will not get away from you and you will not be depleted in your house. Will we always be food in your storehouse. So with that being said, I want to thank God today for how he has fed us, how he has kept us, how he's taken care of us, and anyone out there that feel like they have not eaten, I pray that God will send somebody by with a plate, send somebody by with $1 or $2 to give you so you can get something to eat. I'm just a firm believer that God will provide, and he will. He will. He always has. He always has. So if and so you have not subscribed to the channel, please take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel. And if and so you've not turned your notification bell on, turn your notification bell on. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I know anybody that's watching my channel know that I am I'm just one of the ones that just believe that God is going to do just what God said he's going to do. And right now I believe we're being taught something different, and it seems strange. It really does. It seems strange. We're operating in a strange place. But I think together, if we continue to keep uplifting, motivating, inspiring one another, I think we would get to our destination. Y'all just sit down and do the budget. I love you. Good night.